Hey there, welcome to Ask TJ About Marketing. I'm your host, Terry Johnson from Terry Johnson Online. I'm here to help you understand a little bit better about marketing strategy, branding strategy, and content marketing in order to help you grow your business. Now, I have a marketing agency where I help small business owners and other people who want to know about marketing and marketing strategy, just exactly how they should go about building an online brand presence in order to grow their business online. So we're going to talk today and talk about some questions that you may have, some basic marketing and branding questions. And I know you can get those from Google, but sometimes, that information you get from Google can be a little bit confusing. Am I right? So I've decided to take this time to talk about those questions that I get asked all the time about marketing. What is it? What is branding? What is content marketing? All those questions. So you're going to get your questions answered today on this episode, on this series. And we're going to talk a little bit about marketing and branding and make it easy to understand in simple, concise, easy to use terms, nothing complicated. We're going to, talk in an easy style so you understand the basic principles behind marketing strategy and branding strategy, okay? So today's question is, what are the key elements of a successful brand strategy? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's get into it. Now, why should you know about creating a successful brand strategy? Well, if you have the right strategy set up, the right plan, then you'll be able to accomplish those goals that you want to do online. So, understanding the elements of a successful brand strategy is key in getting to know how to build your business or your brand online so it is essentially successful in reaching those who need your products or your services. It's essential for establishing a strong presence in your market or your industry. It also helps you establish a strong brand identity and brand presence so you're known in every spot online as the same brand identity. This is important because it helps you resonate with your target audience. It helps your message reach and connect with those who need to hear what you have to say online as far as your business and your business messaging and your mission. You have to have a well-crafted message. All those things we talk about here all the time. Yes. But another part of this, beyond the marketing strategy, which is your messaging, really, how you're going to craft your message, where you're going to say what you're going to say, who are you going to talk to, all of that. There's another part of it, and it's branding. And people get branding and marketing mixed up all the time. I mean, I think we talked about this several times, the difference between marketing and branding. There's a difference. They're not the same.
There's a big difference.
Right. It's a huge difference. And also, when you hear the word branding, what do you think of? Oh, that's logos, colors, graphics, fonts, visuals. No, that's not what branding is. Those things are a part of your branding, but branding is here in the mind of your customer. Branding is how you make them feel, how they feel about you, vice versa. And that's based on the interaction between them and your business. Customer service is one of the things. There's a lot that goes into it. So remember, your branding strategy is about feeling. It's not about the marketing of it, your message of, okay, I'm putting up an image, I'm putting up a billboard, I'm doing this, I'm doing a podcast, I'm doing that. That's all well and good. Those are things, tactics. How do they feel when they listen to your podcast? How do they feel when they look at you online? How do they feel when they go to your Instagram? How are you making them feel? That's all a part of the branding. Now you can get now I'm not leaving out logo and color, but once you do that, those are static things. You can say, well, my colors are blue and white, and this is my tagline. So once you do that, then what do you do for branding? Branding means all of the things that we just said about how you make them feel, because they're going to talk to other human beings in their family circle, friends, acquaintances. The power of branding. I found this on Medium somewhere. Someone wrote an article about branding, and I was like, this is a good example. So, 2 cups, right? The one on the left is plain white, no branding, nothing. It's just a cup of coffee, $1.20. But look at the one on the left and look at the one on the right.
Same cup.
Yes, but why can you charge? Why can they charge $3.25? It's more than that now. But why can they charge so much? It's the same cup, the same coffee. That's because of the brand and the branding experience that goes along with it. You know what you're going to get in that cup that has the Starbucks label on it. Do you know what kind of coffee you're going to get in the plain one? Nope, you don't know, right? So I want to stress that creating a successful brand strategy is very important for the growth of your business. Online, it's a guideline to help you establish the steps you need to take in order to reach your target audience, to make that connection with potential customers, to get them on the customer journey. And as I always say, the call to action leads to a successful sale. And then that is increasing your increasing your business revenue online. And that makes all the business owners happy. Now, it is crucial to remember that you want to establish a brand presence that gives you credibility. Credibility is really important to potential customers because it states who you are and that you're trustworthy. So you want to begin that journey of know, like, and trust. So they have to start with knowing who you are as a business, as a brand, and if you're credible. Is the information that you're giving out online, does it make it seem like you are an authority in this industry? So it's all about establishing trust and building credibility to where you say who you are, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, and you prove it online. You need to show that your business is trustworthy, and there are several things that you have to make sure that you're including, that these things are important in your strategy to make sure that they're getting across to your audience online. One is transparency. You want to make sure that you are being ethical in the information that you're giving, what you're presenting online, what you're saying your business or brand represents, who you are basically. Are you trustworthy? You can do that by showing transparency. Now, that doesn't mean TMI, showing everything. It just means that if you create a product, you might want to show a little bit of what goes in the making of it, and that's called behind the scenes. If you're in the service industry, showing a behind the scenes is maybe setting up for a client, or how you prepare the information that you sell or you show to the client. You might want to show a little bit of that. You don't want to show everything. You want to show a little bit of it because that establishes transparency, which leads to authority and trust. Now, another part of this is consistency. I know you've heard that term. You have to be consistent online. Well, it means that you need to show up when you're going to show up. You need to be in the spot when you say you're going to be there. That's because that leads to reliability and also leads them into trusting your business or brand, that you say what you say and you stand behind what you say and you stand behind what you do and the way that you do it. That's very important to a potential customer, that you're consistent, that you're showing up in the same spot all the time when you say that you're going to be there. So if you say, I'm going to be doing a live on Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, then you got to be there every Tuesday, because people will start to look for you there. And if you decide, well, this week I'm not going to do it, you might get some people that drop off and they go, well, you didn't show up this week, so I'm not coming back to watch your content or to read your article or open your emails because you're not being consistent. So especially when you're sending out a newsletter, for example, you want to stay consistent by sending it at the same time and the same length, and all of the things are the same every week if you're going to do a weekly, or if you're going to do one by every 2 months or monthly. So you have to say, I do a newsletter every week, every Tuesday at 11 a.m., and I hope you join me for that. So you have to consistently do that, and there are tools that will let you do that, that will let you schedule it, so you do really have to worry about the consistency part. But you do have to make sure that you set up a system of consistency, showing up when you're saying you're going to show up, and also conveying that information to people before they sign up, or before they join you on social media, or they watch your YouTube channels, whatever it is, whatever the piece of content is. Be sure to let people know, hey, I'm going to be consistent, and I'm going to show up at a certain time every week, every month, every day, whatever the time frame that you set up. But make sure you convey that information and stick with it. This consistency establishes your business or brand as reliable and trustworthy. And those are some of the things that a potential client or customer wants to know. Are you going to provide what you say you're going to provide? Are you going to be in the same spot that you said you're going to be? Can I trust you? Now, another thing you need to consider with your brand strategy, this is one of the key elements, is expertise. You have to show what you're an expert in and what you have knowledge of. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to have a PhD in whatever topic it is, or whatever subject or market that you're in. You just have to display the level of expertise that you have, the level of knowledge, and you also have to prove it. So make sure, if you say I'm an expert, or I'm a senior expert, or I'm a senior expert. I'm still saying expert. I'm a senior expert in this market or this topic. Make sure you have the credentials or the knowledge, or a way to show that you have the right amount of experience to back that information up, to back up that claim, because someone's going to call you on it. So all of this is tied up into providing a reputation that's going to establish know, like, and trust with a potential customer or client from the audience that you're reaching online. So you want to make sure you're doing these things in a way that is going to convey that you are who you are. And the things that we talked about is all a part of brand reputation. You want to say what you want to say, who you are, what you stand for, and you have to make sure that these things are truthful, and you have to be transparent. All of this information that you're putting out online, it leads to this pieces of a puzzle that people put together and say, hey, I can trust this person, or I can buy from this brand or this business because they say what they said and they stand by it, and I know that I can trust them. That's all a part of your reputation for your business online. So a little bit more deep dive into creating this brand strategy and the elements that you need. One of those things is you're going to have to define your brand values. This goes back to, you have to know your why. You have to know why you're in business. So you have to put these elements together, because they're going to demonstrate to someone who's considering your business or your brand, considering doing business or buying from you. These are one of the elements that they're going to pull from and say, well, what does this person stand for? What does this business stand for? And is it something I can get behind? Can I feel like, using their products or services? Does that fit into my values? So a customer will definitely look at that. So make sure your brand values are aligned. This is going to tie in with you building an authentic brand image. Authenticity is very important to a potential customer or client online, because they have to determine if this is going to be a good fit for them. And they're often doing it by your content online. So there's no IRL, in real life interaction, until they get to the part where they consider doing business with you. There may be some phone calls or some online meeting or Zoom or something like that, but before they get to that point, They have to look at what you're presenting online. So you have to make sure your brand values are being displayed online in a way that's going to attract them, to have them jump into that customer journey of, let's get on a call, let's book an appointment. There are certain things that have to come before that, and so that's a part of your brand strategy. Also, remember, you're putting out this information and you're putting out your brand values, but you have to deliver on those promises. So remember, whatever you put out as a brand value, or you're presenting yourself online as a business, you have to deliver. You have to make sure those things are aligned with your brand values, and also make sure that you can deliver on those promises. So I know this is a lot of information that you have to remember to put in your brand strategy, but if you keep it simple, just remember, understand your audience, know what they like and dislike. That is going to help you with your brand strategy as far as messaging and saying the right thing that's going to connect with them. Also, remember all the things that I said earlier about being authentic, showing, make sure you're getting them to know, like, and trust you. So a lot of that is going to go with how you present yourself and how you bring up your values, your expertise, and the things that you know, and how you present them. So be confident about how you do this, because you've got the knowledge. You've started a business, you're running a business, so you already know how to do that. And that in turn helps you with the brand strategy that's going to bring in the customers and clients online. So to wrap this up, remember, you want to do those things online that's going to build the know, like, and trust factor with your brand. It's going to build confidence in your business. It's also going to showcase you as a knowledgeable, trustworthy, transparent. You're going to do when you do what you do and say what you say, the customer or client can rely on that. And you want to be reliable. You want to be trustworthy. You want them to get to know, like, and trust, because that is an important bridge between, okay, I want to get in front of my target audience, but I also want them to get into my system where they can buy my products and services. So there's a long bridge of brand strategy, brand presence, brand reputation, being yourself, being trustworthy, all the things that I mentioned. So those things play an important part before they even decide to buy from you or do business with you. So remember, you want to build a strong brand identity that connects and resonates with your target audience. You want to make sure that there's a relationship developing, because you don't want to do a one sale. You want to build that relationship to where they come to you over and over again and again, because they know, like, and trust. I know I keep saying that, but that's very important, because it builds and strengthens the relationship between you and that client or customer. Very important information to remember. So that's it for this question on today's episode. I hope this information is helpful to you. I hope it helps you understand better about the elements you need to put in to a brand strategy, because a brand strategy is important. It is who you are online when you're not there, when the business is not there, when you closed up for the day, or your office hours, or whatever hours you have. That's going to stand in place of you. Well, not in place of you, but place is going to be there for you when your business is closed and someone wants to know more information about you. Well, you got your brand strategy, you got your brand presence, you got your brand reputation, and everything is standing right there, ready to show itself to a new client or a new customer, and they can feel confident and secure enough to go on that customer journey with you, to know, like, and trust, know more about your business, and hopefully at the end of that, it's a sale for your business, and that leads to revenue. We all want that goal of more revenue, right? So if you need a little bit more clarity, you want more information about this question or any of the others in this series, just reach out to me, TerryJohnsonOnline.com. Also, any of your favorite social media platforms. I'm everywhere. I'm online everywhere. Terry Johnson Online. Reach out and let me know what you need from me, more information, more clarity, whatever it is, and I'll be sure to answer your question and give you more of what you need. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.